Alright, it's time for the solutions for the mean, median, mode, and standard deviation assignment. So even though the instructions say to get mean, median, mode, and range, I want you instead of get a range, get standard deviation. So what I'm going to do on this one, since it's all pretty much in the calculator, is I'm going to just kind of explain what's going on in the calculator and how to put things in, and then I'll show you what the answers are, what you should get at the end. So put it in a calculator and check your work. Make sure you're getting these things. So make note of this when you're looking at the results in the calculator. Where you see X bar, that number is going to be the mean. When you see MED, that's the median. And then we see SX, that's an S, not a 5. You're going to see that is standard deviation. The calculator is not going to give you mode, but you can figure it out just looking at the data set. Make sure you know how to first put a dataset into the calculator. You're going to start by pushing stat, and then you're going to push enter, and that brings you right into where you're editing your first dataset. So that brings up the list to edit. And you can go ahead and just edit those numbers that are in the dataset. If you want to clear it before getting started, which you probably need to do, you go up, so you highlight L1, and then you want to push clear, and then enter will clear those out for you. And then you're going to go to the 1var stats. To do that, you need to push stat, and then you go to calc, and then you're going to push enter. It's the first thing. And then you need to tell it to do L1, so you need to push second, and then you push 1, or the first list, the one that you edited. If you did L2, then you can push second 2, and it'll get it on there for you. Then you push enter, and it's going to push out a bunch of statistics that you can scroll through. And that's where these come in handy. You have to look through and make sure you got them. Okay, so let's bring up the first set here. Yeah, I'm just going to show these fairly quickly. Notice your mean and mean aren't always going to be the same. The median and mean will usually be different. These beginning standard deviations are in the 20s. When you get to the next section, still staying in the 20s on our standard deviation, but this one down here is in the 30s. The mean and median can be close together, like 63 and 65 are fairly close together. If you have multiple numbers that show up the same amount, like 61 and 79 both show up twice on this, so you're going to put both of them on your mode. And 7 doesn't have a mode because each number only shows up once, so you put no mode. This time the mean is a little bit higher, up in the 70s, but standard deviation is still in the 20s area. Okay, so that's the front side. On the back, still doing the same thing. What I did to kind of help me out to figure out the mode is I just put a little tick mark above it to count them out and make sure it is the mode and that there isn't another number that shows up more than that. Sometimes your standard deviations can be smaller or larger. The smaller ones means they're less spread out. So if you look at this data set, the numbers are less spread out than this one, which ranges from 99 to 25, and this one goes between 27 and 67, so it's not as spread out. Next section, number 5 had no mode. All of them show up just once. And so, yeah, that one's there. Let's see what else. Mean, median. Yeah, something I want to notice is like these numbers are actually fairly close together, and then this guy is way lower, and that makes my standard deviation, even though it looks like the other ones, it's been pulled away because of the 18. And then the last ones, I'll give you these ones. Yeah, and so just a fairly short video. If you need to pause any of those so you can check your work, go ahead and do that. Make sure you know how to put in the calculator. Make sure you know how to identify what the numbers are. Be able to write them down. It's important.